high school ranks. Just state of the room right now. I guess what do you think of it?
Yeah, you got a good diverse skill set. Just starting with your senior Marquiston, big guy who can really make plays on the ball. He's such a big guy and creates some matchup problems with his size, but also really effective blocker and just a guy with a lot of experience. And then Randy's the junior in the room. Guys played a couple of years coming over from UCF. Really a different skill set. Not as big a player, but almost a combination running back, slot receiver, tight end. Combination type player that brings a lot to the room with his versatility. And then I think special teams will be big with him as well. And then, Landon is your sophomore guy that started games as a freshman. I think he's got, the complete package in terms of a guy who can really be an effective inline blocker, but really, really function at a high level in the pass game. And then, you got your rookie, Chase, who's had a really good offseason, put on some weight, and we're really excited to he's kind of the most unknown just because he hadn't done it. The other guys, a little bit about what you're getting. And Amari will play a lot of defense, but hopefully we'll be able to steal him a little bit and let him make some plays on offense because, he definitely has shown that capability. And then, Grayson and Luke have really worked hard this offseason. So I'm really excited. Those two guys are bringing a lot in terms of work ethic and the skill set. Grayson's a 250-plus guy, so he's going to bring an element that can really help us. And Luke's worked hard to transform his body. So I'm excited about all those guys. Can't wait to get to spring ball.
I was going to ask you how much you're going to have to fight with Pot Roast to get Amari on offense a little bit.
I mean, if Amari can go over there and make an impact on defense, I'll be the first one to congratulate him, come off the field when he gets a sack or makes a play. I'm excited about, his opportunity to get to do that. That's what he wants to do. And he views it like he's really, truly a team guy, so he views it like trying to do the best for the team to play both. And but, we'll see how that plays out. I mean, we hope to get him some, but we'll see how it works out.
Obviously, like some unknowns just because you're bringing in some new faces that poised to be big contributors. But I guess top to bottom, this room, do you think it stacks up as one of the best, when it comes to talent and then also versatility that you've had since you've been here?
Yeah, I mean, I think what you look at, college football is becoming harder and harder to predict, right? With the portal and, it's harder to predict like what it's going to look like when you go out there because anytime you have new players and you lack continuity, which a lot of programs have that year to year now, it's kind of the norm. You really don't know what to expect. So the first thing about our room is we've got guys who we know they've been in those, Marquiston part of a 19-game win streak here, and played a big part in all that. So we know what we're getting there. Randy's played at UCF. Coach Malzahn knows what he's getting. I've had Landon and Amari in big games against Clemson and, some of the great teams out there, and I know how they're going to respond. So from that standpoint, there's, that's a little hard to find in college football right now where you go from one season to the next and you have – now the big part of that is they can't be the same guys they were. They have to improve and take steps, which watching them in January and February, man, they've worked extremely hard to up their game individually and to try to bring a lot to the team. And so, what they can bring at the tight end position, plus in the special teams game is really big if they take the right approach, which so far they have.
How much does having Randy Pittman, a guy who's already been in that system, help in him teaching the other guys in the room and maybe even teaching you a little bit about
no, it helps a lot. Like in January, we were on the road recruiting, so I wasn't around the guys that much. And so, his familiarity with the system, with Coach Malzahn's terminology, what Coach Malzahn wants, that's a big asset to everybody, and so that's been really helpful. more than anything, just a guy with the comfort level that he has. I mean, it's just second nature to him after being in it for 2 years, so that helps a lot. But yeah, that's been a big asset, and I expect it to continue to be as we go into spring ball.
Just a unique thing with your room specifically is that the two transfers that you brought in, you're super familiar with. Obviously,
Right.
with what Mark Houston being a former player here, then Randy being committed to you during the recruiting process. Knowing that you have that familiarity with them, was that easier to kind of say yes to bringing them in, and just what kind of does that provide an advantage to you?
Yeah, I mean, 100%. Like, I see the transfer game like. If you watch the NFL right now with free agents, a lot of those guys are signing with teams that have coaches that they played with, right?
Yeah.
And you're probably going to see more of that as college football evolves. And we got a couple of guys on offense that have that level of that comfort level with Coach Malzahn's system. So that I think that'll play more into college football. It definitely helps us. Mark Houston, just knowing his strengths and he's been in college football now. We've been here. We joke like he and I've been here together for 5 years.
Yeah.
Like we've been in college. He's been in the game for going on 6 years now. So there's just so much about that helps when you get in. I mean, the first game of the season, there'll be anxiety for everybody, both teams. But a guy like Mark Houston, when you look at him in the game, he's just kind of the same guy if he was standing here with us as he is out there in the game. He doesn't panic, doesn't freak out. And so that's always, to have that kind of player and know you're walking into those kind of environments. And then Randy with his experience, Landon and Amari. I mean, they're kind of over now that initial college football shock, and now they can really just work on being the best they can be. So it's a great comfort level for a coach, but we can't rest on that. We got to go push and take the next step, all of us.